Alright, in response to Sylvesterfox's karma video, I want to preface this video with a couple things. First of all, Wet Rabbit's journal entry, definitely fair game. You do an online, publicly viewable journal, fair game. I also want to say furries, trolls, equally susceptible to karma. I'm not going to say that one side may be more victimized by karma than another. It all depends on the individual themselves. Now, trolls do tend to show a little bit worse of a side of themselves, but that's not to say that many furries aren't showing bad sides of themselves as well, or that they might not be better or worse in real life. Now, to move on just a little bit more, I gotta say, karma. Let's just get on to the big subject, karma. Personally, I guess you could say I believe in a form of karma. I'm not sure if it's divinely influenced or not, but I do believe in karma to an extent. It's not universal. You're not always going to get out of it what you put into it. It's just, how you say, pretty much generally the way that things work, the vast majority of the time. In my eyes, it's pretty much simply cause and effect. If you go through life being an asshole, you're going to suffer repercussions for being an asshole, regardless of whether they're outright or subtle. Assholes tend to burn more bridges. Nice people, they also suffer repercussions. If you're too nice and you don't stand up for yourself, you have a tendency to burn a few bridges there. The difference is you usually have people willing to stand up for you and kind of unburn those bridges for you. So as far as the karma of life goes, it tends to work out. And I do want to point out that materialistic success is highly debatable as far as karma standards, because there are people out there that are absolutely broke, or not necessarily absolutely broke, but it's considered poor by the standards of living happy lives. And then there are people out there who have busted hump, put all this effort in, and they've done everything they can, they've got to the top, they're successful, they make money, and they're unhappy. Now, that is materialism's fault, most likely. They got their just desserts. They got their, I guess, karma from it, because they neglected the rest of their life for their job and their money and everything. So, I mean, you know, this has turned into more or less of a serious video. Yeah, karma. It exists out there in some way, shape, or form, regardless of whether you want to say it's cause and effect, or regardless of whether maybe there's some little divine influence in there somewhere. Personally, I believe more in the real world, cause and effect. It's not random, it's stuff people bring upon themselves. Chain reactions, ripples in a pool, subtle effects that you won't even notice a lot of times. It might affect you far in the future. You burn your bridges, you pay for it later. But, I guess to end this video, there was a lot of talking about comparing, at the end of the video, trolls versus furries as far as lifestyles and documentation and such. Now, of course, furries don't have as much documentation on trolls. Trolls are the ones that are digging up documentation on furries, not the other way around. I consider it unethical, and I'm sure that many others do as well, to go and dig up someone's real-life information for an internet discussion or argument or what have you. And quite frankly, furries don't seem to be touching that area. And more power to them. All the same, I don't think that their real life situation is a good example of karma, because you don't understand their real life situation. You don't know their real life situation. Like I said, there are people out there that are low on means, but happy people. Then there are people out there that are wealthy, well off, and miserable with it. Even if they seem happy, there are some that are still pretending to be happy, feel better because they have all these things, yet miserable in the end. So, honestly, with what we know on people, our small pie slice view into someone else's world, I don't think you can say the effects of karma on them. I don't think you can say their quality of life versus someone else overall. Just don't think you can say it. I mean, even like photo model. Oh, the other pirate. Yeah, guess what? There's a heck of a lot of models out there, photo models, whatever, unhappy in the end. There's a lot of them happy too. That does not create happiness. That does not create good karma. Neither does a successful job and a wife and kids. Though I would say if you manage to maintain that, you're probably happier than the average person having a successful job and still have time for your wife and kids. Bless everyone that does that and has the patience for that. And, well, that's about it.